All right, hello. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about Jeremiah Johnson, the film from 1972 starring Robert Redford as our title character, Jeremiah Johnson, the mountain man. And talk a little bit about the film, then I'll talk briefly about a couple of works it's loosely inspired by. So, when the film opens up, we see Jeremiah Johnson at a trading post. He's trying to acquire a 50 caliber Hawking rifle and some traps because he wants to go off into the mountains and become a mountain man. Now, when you see him in the opening sequence, he's got on some blue, uh, looks like military garb, right? Like he's got the blue pants with the yellow or the gold stripe up the side. He has on like a military cap. So I'm assuming, based upon a sequence later in the film where he comes across some cavalry officers or some cavalrymen who want him to be a scout as they transverse through the Crows' sacred lands. He asks them how the war is going, and they say, "What war?" And he says, "The war with Mexico." And they say, "It's over." So that's why I suspect he is a veteran of the Mexican American War, which happened under the presidency of James Polk, who annexed the state of Texas, which sparked off the Mexican American War. Now, Texas had already declared independence, but when they asked for admittance into the Union, that's what kicked off the war with Mexico. Okay, so that's why I think Jeremiah Johnson's a veteran of that conflict. Now, this movie is set in, I think, like Montana, Utah, and Wyoming, mainly, maybe touching into Idaho a little bit, but that's generally the setting of the film. Now, the film itself was filmed entirely in the state of Utah, I think in like a state park or something. But the film, when in its opening sequence, mentions that it's inspired by two works. One of them is this book here, Mountain Man by Vardis Fisher, which was published in 1965. And this book has a map right there of the said territory that I just mentioned, the Montana, Wyoming, Utah, and Idaho region. This book is kind of inspired by the life of Redford Johnson, who is a real life person that I don't know a whole lot about. I think most of his life is legend. But this film is also partially based on another book, which is titled Crow Killer, The Life of Redford Johnson. And Johnson had a personal vendetta or war with the Crow Indians, which does end up happening kind of towards the end of this film. I will say that the first major chunk of the movie, Jeremiah Johnson, is just Jeremiah Johnson learning how to trap, learning how to hunt, how to fish, how to survive as a mountain man. He does come into contact with some Flathead Indians and some Crow. The Flatheads, for the most part, are very peaceful towards him. He encounters a tribe that are Christianized. And he does end up having like a war with the Crow after the intermission break in the movie. So it's a longer film. Okay, there is a break, and then the movie really takes a dark turn towards the end. So I remember the first time I watched this film, like I was really enjoying it, and then it got dark. And that's because the script was written by John Milius. You know, John Milius, think of Conan the Barbarian. He directed Red Dawn. He wrote the script for Dirty Harry, starring Clint Eastwood. So we're talking some real macho, manly man stuff. So of course we're gonna have to have some good old fashioned male violence, testosterone fueled machismo, and this film does not disappoint. Now it's a great movie. I really like it. I think it's kind of a underrated Robert Redford film, probably mostly known as a meme. Robert Redford standing in a river with the zoom in shot of him smiling and nodding his head. But behind that meme is a great movie. So I just want to say, if you've never seen this one, check it out. It's got a great score. and it's beautifully shot, wonderful cinematography. Now, I'm going to close it there and just say this is a big recommend for me. And I want to ask, what do you think about it? Do you like this movie? Let me know in the comments section. And furthermore, have you read the book Mountain Man by Vardis Fisher or the book Crow Killer? I'd be interested to hear about that. I will say one final thing about the Crow. From everything that I've read about the Crow Indians, they seem like pretty peaceful people. So I'm not sure how much of this, you know, Johnson's feuding with them is reality and how much is myth. Because from everything I've seen, they worked as scouts. They worked with the United States government because they were at one of the tribes that were at war with the Sioux. You know, the bands that make up the Sioux Indians, like the Lakota and the Brule and the Ogala, the Miniconjous, um, along with the Pawnee. Like the Pawnee and the Crow served as scouts for the United States military, assisting cavalry operations because they were at war with the Sioux Nation. So, did the Crow really do the heinous things that Jeremiah Johnson, um, the movie, like shows them as? Were they really like these vicious people? I don't know. I don't know. The story of Liv Reeton Johnson, the real life character, says that he got his name by killing the crow and eating their livers. Now that's pretty disgusting. It seems pretty far fetched to me, but yeah, I'm gonna kind of wrap things up. I will say one final thing. Robert Redford actually served as a pallbearer for Liver Eating Johnson in 1974 when Johnson's remains were um, moved. They were reinterred. So a little interesting tidbit for you over that, where kind of like pop culture, fiction, and legend and reality all collide with each other. Very strange and surreal almost, but hey, it happened. Anyways, thank you for watching and have a wonderful day.